Welcome to Penny for Our Thoughts podcast, where you can get a third-party opinion on your worries, concerns, or problems you may have. Don't keep it to yourself, give some to us. My name is John.
And I'm Gerald, and we're your hosts for today's podcast.
So Gerald, how's your day going? You excited for the first ever episode for our podcast?
Well, I don't know, man. I'm winging a lot of this, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think winging here, but let's have some fun. You ready to get started?
Let's go.
All right. So we have 3 individuals' concerns here today, and for this week, Gerald has no idea what the concerns are about and is hearing about them for the first time, just like all the listeners out there. And the concerns, they're pretty heavy.
Juicy?
Just to give you away. Yeah, they're pretty juicy.
Juicy, okay.
All right. So for the first person that's looking for our thoughts, this is from username Stephanie, and the title is this age gap a red flag? Ready? Recently, I met a man. He's 42 years old, and I'm 22 years old, and I'm the female. I've never been married and don't have kids. However, he's the opposite and has been married and has 5 kids. I recently asked him if my age bothered him, and he said, not at all. I don't know if this is worth pursuing or not, or should I just stop seeing him? I'm used to guys my age, but I'm really attracted to him, but the age gap is so big. Any thoughts, insights, advice would be appreciated.
Okay, so there's lots of ways to first start tackling this, in my opinion. Because I'm going to completely first ignore the guy's background perspective, whatever. Just from the perspective of Stephanie, jumping right into a relationship that has, I'm assuming, a little bit older kids already, maybe almost teenage years.
5 kids, yeah.
Yeah. She's going to be missing out, skipping an entire chapter or more of her life of actually starting with the baby, or not even before that, dating for a long time, getting to know each other, getting married, and then starting that first family life, I don't know Stephanie, but I'm assuming she's thought of that.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's asking the question. Well, actually, I can't even assume that, but I'm gonna work under the assumption that she's thought of that.
Okay, well then, yeah, I guess so. I mean, I don't know how, because this guy has 5 kids, right? I mean, their 5 kids could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but again, like you said, Gerald, they could be 12. We don't know that.
Yeah.
Well, what would you do? Let's say you met someone, you met a girl, and she has 5 kids. Obviously with someone else. But,
right.
Yeah, she has 5 kids. Could you meet someone that has kids that are not your own? And again, we're assuming that the 5 kids are from the same mom and the same dad in this situation.
Right.
We don't know if those 5 kids are from 2 different moms, 3 different moms, and so on and so forth. Let's just assume that you're dating someone, she has 5 kids, and all the 5 kids are from the same dad. Could you meet this person? You're, just in your primes, your young 20s. Could you do it?
There'd be a lot of what ifs going forward for sure. If I chose to pursue a relationship like that, which I don't think I would find myself in, just in my situation. I don't go places where I would meet lots of moms and dads, for more than other than my mom's friends, my dad's friends.
But you don't know. Maybe the opportunity arises.
Okay. So skipping all that part, assuming I've met a person that I'm into, and she just happens to have 5 kids.
Exactly.
Okay. I don't think so, man.
What's your hesitancy? Why not?
Why not? Well, just how I was brought up. I was always around people like that growing up, and I've never thought of them as my peers or my because if I see someone like that, personally, I'm instantly oh, you must be my mom's friend. Even my boss right now is significantly older than me. I'm not going to outside of work, obviously, outside of work lunches, I'm not going to be hey, let's go grab a beer. It's awkward to me because it's growing up Filipino households always respect your elders.
That's true. But what if, let's say the kids were out of the situation. So you're saying you have the problem with the age gap. That's the feeling I'm getting. You don't have a problem with the kids. It's the age gap that you're okay, this is too much. So then what's your okay age gap then?
Okay, well, first of all, I'm gonna clear it up. I don't have a problem necessarily. I still think that older people can be very attractive.
Hmm.
Um, but it's just instinctual at this point, having been brought up in sort of like a culture, I guess is the right word, of like respect your elders. But to answer your question, it's hard to say because I haven't found myself in a situation where I'm talking to someone significantly older than me, and I'm thinking like, whoa, is real, like the butterflies, whatever. This never happened.
Okay, so you're saying if this was your situation, it would have never happened in the first place.
Yeah, that's why I'm having such a hard time like giving a concrete answer.
Hmm. For me, like the age is just a number. I've always lived that by
Yeah,
that concept. But again, coming from an Asian background and that whole respect your elders, I completely understand that.
you're right.
But I think Stephanie, if I was Stephanie's perspective, I would be sitting down and kind of thinking about myself first, right? This person has kids. This person's obviously going to think about their kids before me for right now because we don't know how long this relationship has been.
Yeah, yeah,
So, if I was 22, I'm not much older than I am now, but in that age, I would kind of think about is yeah, I might be attracted to this person, but am I planning to spend my future with this person? Like, am I okay with the idea of spending the rest of my life with this person? And for a 22-year-old to think that is not hard. Sorry, it's not easy. Sorry, but I've done it when I was 22. So that's the big thing. I think you got to think about yourself first and be like, can I actually see a future with this person, settle down, and help pretty much raise the 5 kids,
yeah.
and maybe in the future have more kids with this person myself.
Right.
Frankly, I can't. Again, same thing as you, Gerald. Again, nothing against divorced people with kids. I'm nothing with that. I don't know. I personally don't want all that complications in my life. I would want someone that I can settle down with, meet one person, has no kids, and eventually have a future together. But if Stephanie's doing this, again, we're under the assumption that, it's just a relationship or whatever. But if she just wants to have fun, she's young, in her young 20s, and she wants to have fun and she wants to meet whoever and experience all these different types of experiences, by all
Yeah.
means, do it.
Oh yeah.
Keep going. Age gap shouldn't be an issue,
Yeah.
right? Just be aware that those experiences might be a little bit different because this person has kids, but experiences are experiences, and you can never pay for experiences. But if you are looking to eventually settle down, eventually think about your future, think about marriage,
Yeah.
right? Is this person going to be part of the marriage? If that's the answer, I mean, for me, it would be no. But if it's the answer for Stephanie, then I don't see why you can't keep meeting this person, right? This person could be a stellar person, just has 5 kids,
Oh yeah.
right?
And I think ultimately that's what it boils down to. Like, is I don't think this relationship is like an anomaly in comparison to every single relationship. You know, you can always boil it down to fundamentals.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, if you want to try to find a future with this person, number one is going to be, are your needs going to be met with this person? Number two, are you willing to meet the needs of the person? And in this case, the needs might be an imbalance because 22 versus 42 with kids is going to be different.
Mm-hmm.
But if she's willing to give and he's willing to give back to her, what's the problem?
Yeah.
Ultimately, it's going to depend on person to person.
Yeah, and if Stephanie's okay with it, then who are we to judge?
Yeah.
Right.
If Stephanie and, the guy, obviously, as long as they're on the same page, just like any other relationship, communicate your needs, having and making sure you're listening to the other person's needs. Fundamentally, like that's what you need for a relationship, right?
Yeah, and if everything works out, again, assuming, then it would be a pretty fruitful relationship, my personal opinion. Again, just because I can't do it doesn't mean other people can't.
Yeah.
Right? I don't think I can date anybody.
Obviously, yeah.
with 5 kids, you can't either.
Yeah, like I barely I barely know how to take care of myself. I can't take a kid.
Exactly.
Like what in the world?
But yeah, hopefully it works out for Stephanie. I think she just needs to go a little bit, self-seeking and thinking about. But other
Yeah.
than that, like you said, you wrapped it up pretty well. If the needs of both people are met, and the wants of both people are met, I think it could be a fruitful relationship. So, see where it goes.
I guess the one thing to worry about then, if there's just to put like not necessarily negative spin, but like something to watch out for, is those what ifs,
Mm-hmm.
because no matter how confident you are in a relationship, I'm sure a few of them could sneak in. Like I was saying at the beginning, she's essentially skipped like 20 years of her life,
Yeah.
having trying to grow a relationship to the point where she can have kids. But again, all part of the communication, all part of the meeting each other's needs.
Mhm. And she might not want kids in the future, so maybe these 5 kids can help with that, I guess.
Yeah, they
Or-
can be like her younger cousins, you know.
exactly, right?
Yeah.
And for the kids, it'd be kind of cool to have a, if it gets that far, have a, young mom, I
Yeah, yeah,
guess.
yeah.
So, yeah, it could be interesting. But those are our thoughts for that. Do you want to add anything more for
No,
Stephanie?
I think we nice and button it up at the end there.
Yeah, awesome. All right. So, it's going to get slowly juicier as we go
Oh,
on.
that wasn't the juiciest one. Okay, thought you
That
were starting
wasn't
off.
the juicy one. All right. So, this is the second individual asking for a third party, the party's opinion, and we'll give it to them. This person's username goes by Key Palms. The title is My ex boyfriend has a girlfriend, but has sex with me now that I'm back in town. So this guy broke my heart. I was very excited to see him again because he claims to want me back. He still says that, but apparently he doesn't want me bad enough to break up with his girlfriend and get back with me. I just came back into town last week, and I'll be here for a while because I'll be getting surgery and having some other medical treatments. But I would like to have a companion during this time. So, should I ask him which one he wants or what he's looking for? What should I do?
Yikes, is my first response to that. I have never been a fan of any person who is with someone and, canoodles with someone else. Like, obviously, there's the exceptions of people having open relationships. Like, I respect that. But since she didn't preface that whole spiel by saying that her now ex has an open relationship with someone, I'm gonna stick to my beliefs here and be like, girl, get out of there. Because what was it? Now that he's in her town, they have sex.
Yes, I believe so.
So okay, is she just like, what is she thinking here? Like, oh, he's in town, and we get to do it. That means he's in love with me again.
I think she's confused because by the title, I think they already still are having sex. Like
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
having sex right now. But then I think what she wants is that she wants to be that person instead of, going around the girlfriend's back and being the ex-girlfriend that the boyfriend's sleeping with. How could I make it so it's like more I'm the only one. I'm the significant other. And it's going from ex-girlfriend status back to girlfriend status.
But then, okay, let's say all the stars line up and you become the girlfriend. He goes out of town. How do you know he's not having sex with his now ex-girlfriend, He's doing this with you. So what makes you sure that he won't be doing this to you in the future? I would not, as a girl, if I were a girl in that situation, I would not be able to let go of that. Like, oh, what if this happens?
So it's kind of like that once a cheater, always a cheater idea.
I was, yeah. I know it's not always black and white. People can change, blah blah blah. But there's that red mark on you.
Okay, well, again, you have a beautiful girlfriend now, but let's say, heaven forbid, it didn't work out, and then it was your ex, and then she was dating someone
Yeah.
else, and then she came to you, and she's like, hey, I have a girlfriend, but it's okay. I have a boyfriend, but it's okay. Let's get together again. And she came to you, Gerald, and she's like, hey, let's do it.
Assuming I'm single and lonely.
Assuming you're single, we don't have the lonely part. But let's not assume that this key palm person is lonely. Let's assume that you're single, right? That's the only thing we can assume at this point.
No, man. I can't see myself being okay with that. Even if it got there, if we ended up doing it, I could not wake up in the morning and be okay with myself, knowing that this person, has a significant other. And even, you know what? This is kind of going off a tangent. Even if they were in an open relationship, I'd be like, okay, so I'm just the meat, I don't know. I don't think infidelity in general is an uncomfortable topic for me to be okay with. It's not. Yeah. Sorry.
And this is what it feels like to me too. It's feels like this guy is, he's okay with cheating. It's like you said, right? If he cheats on his girlfriend now with you, I guess, or with the key palms person, what makes you think that he won't cheat again in the future,
Yeah.
right? Again, just like what you said, I don't know. I'm kind of a believer of once a cheater, always a cheater. And yes, people can change, and I agree with you. But I don't know. Cheating is one of the most despicable things you
Yeah.
could do to one other person, right? You give them so much trust, so much loyalty,
Exactly.
and all the things they've done for you, and then you just throw it away like
Yeah.
it's nothing, right? Now, if you want to talk to him about it and you want to figure it out and you think he won't do it because you're you and you think you're the best and you don't think he'll cheat again, then by all means I need you to talk to him. But the big thing is I think you can't I don't think I would just stay there and sit there and just be like, I'll just let it happen kind of thing. Just go with the flow. I would never I would make a conversation with the girl obviously I'm a guy, so I would make a conversation with the girl and just be like, "Okay, what do you want? Do you
Right.
just want to have sex with me, or do you want a relationship with me?
Yeah.
And what is like that either your girlfriend or boyfriend gonna feel, right? And is there a reason why you're doing this? Like, why aren't you happy with your girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever, right? If I was in the situation, I would just cut it off.
Yeah.
Even if I get like a night like a text at nighttime, you up? I'll just turn it off, ignore it. I'm like, I don't talk to my exes ever.
Yeah.
So, and I'm happy with that. It just for me anyway, it's more of a respect thing for my
Mhm.
future girlfriend
Yeah.
and girlfriends. Is because if I have a girlfriend and I'm talking to my exes, that's just disrespectful.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, again, I guess it all depends. It can't be black and white, but it depends on what the relationship was with my ex girlfriend. It was just like a 2-day thing, and nothing happened.
Yeah.
The farthest we went was holding hands, and we were great friends back then. Then sure, okay, we can go back great friends. But then once you bring sex into it, and then like you had this sexual relationship with your ex, and then you're meeting someone else. I don't know. I think personally, I do this right now. I don't talk to any of my exes,
Right.
and even if they say hi, like it's really hard for me to even say back hi. I just be like, I just kind of walk away as best
Yeah. No,
I
that's
can,
fair.
right? But if you want, if the key palms person wants to talk, the person I think you should get it off your chest, right?
Yeah.
If you really want this guy, then go for it. If
Right.
that's what you want, and if you want to pursue a relationship with this person, do it, right? But if in the in the request or the concern it also said that you were going through, treatments like medical treatments. Are you doing this because of that?
Yeah.
Are you wanting another person because you're getting treated and you want to feel fuller inside?
Yeah.
Again, but is that doing him a disservice? Even if he's doing a disservice to his girlfriend,
At this point, it kind of boils down to what she wants, and I think she laid it out. What she wants, she wants some sort of companionship. It's more than just physical, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the vibe I was getting.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other hand, if we're wrong, if all she wants is like to have some fun, if all he wants is to have some fun, and if they can work it out, then I mean, I guess best case scenario. If the girlfriend is okay with it, then like I guess nobody loses. But it's against my beliefs personally.
Yes, against my beliefs.
But
that's a pretty
like,
chill girlfriend. If the girlfriend's like, yeah, go have sex with your ex girlfriend
yeah,
for fun,
I mean, like, shouldn't have to. Never mind. But okay.
You never know. It could happen, right?
Yeah, like best case scenario, like I said, open relationship. He's like, okay, he wants some fun while he's on the road. She wants some fun while he's in town. Have at her. If no one's getting hurt in this, then like why not? But then, I don't think that's what both sides want. Like the guy wants. I'm just assuming because he's not the one submitting this question.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like he wants to have some fun, and she wants to be cared for. She wants companionship while she's going through a hard time, blah, blah, blah. She wants to be the girlfriend. She wants to be the significant other,
Mm-hmm.
not just the other. So ultimately, it's leaving a bad taste in my mouth in this situation.
Yeah, I think the big thing is you need to talk to the guy.
Yeah.
See what he wants. Is he doing this like you said, for fun, right? Are you okay with continuing this on for fun, or is this guy actually looking for companionship and he's just sick and tired of his girlfriend? That's why he's doing this. Then at that point, I think you should make a decision. If it's for fun and you're okay with it, then I don't want to say have at her because it's against my ideals,
Yeah.
Because I mean, I know we're all. I'm not. It's, it sucks to say, but a lot of people are selfish, right?
Oh yeah.
But like, think about it if you were, in that perspective where you're the person getting cheated on, right? And if we're thinking about everyone's perspective here, I think there needs to be a big, long conversation between you as the person who put this concern in, as the ex-girlfriend, and your, I guess, maybe future to be boyfriend again,
Yeah.
right? Because this is a complicated situation. But I personally say it's what I do. I don't talk to my exes. I don't get
Yeah,
involved
yeah.
with my exes. It's a nice clean cut, clean finish, start anew, whatever. But I understand that you're going through some medical issues. You're going through medical treatment, so I can't ignore that part.
Yeah.
And everyone wants companionship in those situations, right? So if that's gonna help you as a person, as make you feel better, then great. But first things first, have a conversation. You gotta figure out,
Honestly.
because again, you might, and even so, you might want a relationship, but the guy just wants to have fun. And at
Yeah,
that
yeah.
point, he's hurting you too. He's hurting the girlfriend and you.
Yeah. It's disrespect on both sides.
Yeah. So big thing is conversation, communicate, see if he's just doing this for fun or if he actually wants to start something with you, and then decide what you want to do at this point. Anything else you want to add to that deeper, deeper concern that?
I could go off on a rant, man, because I'm just completely against the idea. But not knowing the entire side of the story, I think I'll hold back.
But hey, you never know. Like I said, since we don't know, we can always assume that the girlfriend's like, yeah, whatever,
Yeah.
I'm okay with this, right? If you're my boyfriend, but if you want to go have sex with your ex-girlfriend, by all means, you never know. I mean, that'd be some, like I said, some cool person. I'd be like a pretty chill person. I don't think I could. I don't. I know I can't do that.
Yeah.
And I believe there are not very many girls that can do that, but I can't say no one will do that, right? And someone might.
You'd be surprised, man. Just going through forums on the internet. There's plenty like, me and my boyfriend have open relationship, or like bringing this third person in the bedroom. Like, whoa, how are you saying this so casually?
I guess.
Like, to each their own. Like, good
Yeah.
for them. Like,
Yeah.
too
Again.
Catholic for that.
Too Catholic. All right. Hopefully that resolves the second concern. Hopefully that helped. So, and now the third one. This is probably the juiciest one.
Okay, I'm ready.
And yeah, I read this and I thought this was kind of like, this is just outright wrong. But let's see what you say.
Okay.
So the last and final individual's concerns that came in is from East Librarian. The title is "My BF Won't Respect My Decision."
BF, not best friend, boyfriend.
Boyfriend.
Okay.
Boyfriend. Yeah, let's clear that up. Not so bad of a title, but
Okay.
let's go
Dig
ahead.
deeper.
Yeah, after I read it, it gets pretty bad. Okay. I'm in a long distance relationship, but there's a chance I might be seeing my boyfriend on the next month or so. Problem is that I just want to take things naturally to progress our sex life and together. However, he's already thinking about sex and persuading me to taking the morning after pill when we do. I don't want to. I just don't want the mess of hormones, and it's much easier to just use a condom. But he says it's okay. And he says it's okay, that condoms are okay. But then he always goes back to the subject of using the morning after pill over and over again. I care for him deeply, but I can't get over the disrespect with my decision. Is this a warning sign? What should I do?
A lot of things come to mind when it comes to this, but I feel like there needs to be some clear communication on what sex means to both people. You know what I mean? Putting aside disrespecting the decision, sex obviously can be a very like a turning point in a relationship. I'm assuming they haven't had sex yet.
Let's assume. Let's assume that they both had sex before in their past relationships, but in this relationship they're just taking it slow and haven't.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
think
that's what I
that's the
meant.
assumption I'm getting. Yeah.
So they're a fairly new couple, long distance, and they haven't done the deed. And the boyfriend's super excited, clearly.
Clearly.
And she wants to take it slow. Okay.
Yeah.
Man.
And she's okay with having sex. Like she sees that it's okay.
Right.
Right. But she wants to be safe and protected, like everyone technically should.
Yeah.
And the guy wants, I guess he just wants to feel better and get a better feeling out of sex. He just wants to make sure, but also he wants to make sure that she doesn't get pregnant by accident. So take the morning after pill. Therefore, it like reduces the chance of pregnancy after the deed.
Lots of angles at this. Like it seems like I don't know. I could dig super deep and be like the boyfriend isn't being empathetic to her because she's telling him that it's going to make her uncomfortable. It's going to make her, like I just want to deal with hormones and whatnot. I think that's the flag here. I'm not sure what color it is yet. It might be red,
Okay.
but
It's a little yellow right now.
it's a little yellow, orange
Right.
maybe. The fact that he's disregarding that for his own pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
Let's put this in a different perspective. What if it has nothing to do with the sex? It's like, hey, I want an apple pie. And the girlfriend's like, I'm allergic. Give me banana. He's like, no, apple pie is delicious.
But I don't think I'm not kind of thinking
But
about
like, just separating the decision, the disrespecting the decision part from the sex. Like,
that. I see the metaphor, but it's kind of I don't know. This is me. I'm just having my hat because I mean, if I like apple and I want an apple and my girlfriend wanted banana, I'd be like, I still want apple. I'll get you banana. You know, but again, like,
yeah, okay.
I can't just be like, oh, I'll just have sex with you with the condom and someone else without a condom.
Yeah,
You can't do that.
I
That's
understand.
why I'm like, what?
The metaphor falls apart there.
Yeah.
I understand. Okay.
Yeah.
Ultimately, long story short, I don't agree with the boyfriend's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Because especially when it comes to sex, like that's not something you pressure someone into, regardless of like condom, no condom, whatever. That's just my belief. That's just part of my values. And if you're not on the same page, you either try to get yourselves on the same page, or like figure out whether this is for you, like the relationship is for you. If your values are, diverging, do you want to continue down that road?
But let's just assume that the values are similar. Because they're in a
Okay.
long distance relationship, but even getting into a long distance relationship, your values have to be somewhat similar
I
to even
guess
try it.
It's
right?
a relationship, like after all.
Yeah,
right?
so let's just say like he just wants to have sex unprotected and she doesn't. And that's the only thing that's bugging well, that's the only like conflict in this relationship.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, let's turn this around.
Mm.
Because there's always a double standard. I don't know if that's the right way to call it. Because what he's doing is disregarding her discomfort, her.
He's disregarding for me when I read this,
Yeah.
it was that he was disregarding her health.
Health. Yeah, discomfort, her health,
Yeah.
her well-being.
Yeah, because I don't know what's in the morning after pill, but I know it's
Right.
not safe. It's not, I mean, it's safe, obviously, because you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
get it, but it's not healthy. It's not like a vitamin pill you just
Yeah.
take every day, right?
There's
Like,
no it's not that there's no side effects. There's side effects.
there's going to be something, yeah, right? You're putting that much hormones into your body. That's literally the boyfriend doesn't care about her health. Is what I'm getting. That's the feeling I'm getting.
I don't think. Well, I don't know, but from what I know, like I don't know much, obviously, but from what I know, it doesn't really like affect your health in the long term, unless you're like continuously using it. I think, and I could just sound like a complete idiot right now because I have no idea. But the fact that he's putting her not necessarily at risk, but he's putting her in that state of discomfort and for the sake of his pleasure, he's sacrificing some part of her for his gain.
Mm-hmm.
And on the flip side, for her to ask for sex with a condom, she doesn't really gain anything other than not having to use the morning after pill. Because in both scenarios, they're being safe, right?
Yeah.
In terms of
Well, I would say condoms
quote
safe. Yeah,
unquote safe,
yeah.
but like in terms of not getting pregnant,
Yeah.
they're both going to do the same thing of not getting you pregnant. Ideally, like obviously something can happen. So I feel like the guy's being selfish. That's just the gut feeling.
So-
I don't agree.
What color is the flag now?
The color of the flag is saying there's no color. It just says talk it out.
Doc, no,
That's the theme. It seems to be like the theme of every relationship base is like communicate. Make sure you understand each other's positions, but ultimately, like it's not looking good for the guy's argument here.
I think it's a red flag.
Do you think it's a red
I
flag?
think it's a red flag. Just blatant out red flag. Because let's put it, assuming everything is like is okay, the values are all still
Yeah, yeah.
right. You are literally forcing a woman to take drugs,
Okay.
or I guess not forcing, but you're asking a girl
Yeah.
to take drugs for your benefit, right? And if you against it goes down, it boils down to like how much does this guy care about the girl, right? Yeah, okay, we all know that like having sex is like a good thing, and it could lead to big things and whatever,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But risking and putting drugs into a girl's body just so you can have the pleasure of not having a condom
Yeah.
on is completely wrong in my personal
Yeah.
opinion,
Okay.
right? Like he should be happy, let alone like you're still get to do the deed with her. Like
Yeah, yeah.
in that aspect itself, you should be happy and be honored with that she even give you that choice. Like you can put it,
Yeah, yeah.
do it, right? But then you're disrespecting her further, saying that no, I don't want to do it with you, unless you take the morning after pill or whatever, right? And there are obviously other things. We only talked about morning after pills and condoms, but I mean obviously they could take birth control pills. But
Yeah.
again, birth control pills is still taking drugs.
That's altering the woman's body.
Exactly, right? All these things. If you haven't realized, he's thought of. I mean, right now technology has definitely hindered women in that aspect for birth control, right? The women has to either take the morning after pills or take the
Yeah.
birth control pills or whatever, right? But it's where we are at right now. So, and there's nothing other than for condoms for men, right? I think we should really change that. I think that's the main thing we should change. but seriously, he's one little inconvenience that he has. He's letting his girlfriend take drugs.
Maybe he doesn't understand too. That's why I'm saying not just like red flag. Maybe he doesn't understand, or did it say I don't know. Did it say that she explained to him the side effects on her body?
She just said that she doesn't want to mess with the hormones and stuff like that. It's just much easier to use a condom. So we don't know if she has any underlying health problems.
Okay.
We don't know that if this boyfriend has no idea what's in the pill and how it affects
Yeah.
women. But if you know about the morning after pill, though, wouldn't it be safe to assume that this guy knows what it's for and how it was supposedly work?
Yes.
Right?
Okay. Like, okay, I'm gonna say right now, I already agree with you that it's wrong.
Yeah.
But playing devil's advocate,
Okay.
he's what if he's ignorant to the possible side effects or the changes to the woman's body? If she just explains that to him, maybe he'll agree. Maybe he'll be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry I asked you that." Like playing under the assumption that he doesn't know.
Even if he doesn't know, though, right? He's not taking the pill. Wouldn't he do? I mean, again, this is just me. If I would research for my girlfriend taking that pill, it's like, how could this be?
Okay.
Right? And then eventually you'll find out. We have Google. We live in this very like
Right.
information age world right now. You can search anything on Google and you'll find it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't just look up and say what is in this pill, right? Why doesn't he just take a pill? Well, if there was a pill made for him, like this is another question: is if there was a pill made for men instead of women, would he be able to take it? Would he be okay with taking it?
That's
Right?
That's why there's so many variables here that we don't know. Like ultimately, we both agree. They're just for the sake of discussion,
Yeah.
right? We both agree. Dude, what are you doing? But for the sake of discussion, let's say he doesn't know. Like, oh, I don't know that. I didn't know this thing could affect my girlfriend. But
I don't want to give him that credit. That's the thing. I don't want to give this guy credit. Like, you're right. I would normally I would give someone the benefit of the doubt.
Right.
Right. But this guy, I don't want to give it to him. He doesn't seem like he deserves that benefit. Like deserves the benefit of the doubt.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I guess, and ultimately, you have to show the responsibility. If you think you're ready to have sex, you should be ready to accept the responsibility that comes with it, to know what each contraception does or how it affects possibly each other's bodies.
Because this is the thing I'm getting to is that let's say they do it, and then let's say they follow what the guy says, and then they do
Okay.
the morning after pill. We all know that the morning after pill isn't 100% effective, or like even close to like 99% effective, whatever. It's like
Whatever it is, yeah.
I'm sure it's a lower number than condoms or birth control pills. I know that for sure. What if she gets pregnant, and it doesn't work? It didn't work because it happened, right? Because I believe the concept of morning after pill is so that you don't get implantation. I think that's what it is. It doesn't. It
I have
doesn't
no idea.
stop. Yeah, that's what I think. But what if I know for a fact that it's 100% effective,
Right.
and she could get pregnant and result in a full 9-month pregnancy and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Will this guy stay?
We don't know. All we know is that he wants to have good sex.
That's what I'm saying.
That's all we know about him.
This is the issue that I have with those kind of people. Is like you're making this choice that can affect both your lives, right? For this one instance, you can
Right.
change your lives dramatically, right? And I'm going down like the weasel hole, whatever hole.
Yeah.
Like, what if she gets pregnant and then she decides to keep the baby, right?
Is he gonna stay? Yeah,
Is he gonna stay? And if he doesn't, like, he has to financially support it. He has to be there for the kid. Like, what's gonna happen, right? It's one action. It's literally just put a condom on. It's not hard.
Yeah.
It's not hard, right? But it's one action.
I hope it's hard.
But this one action can lead to so many bad things. And again, going back to the nitty gritty going back to the point is that telling your girlfriend to take a pill just because of your own personal benefit
Yeah.
is wrong. That's just how I. If you take it, by all means, right? And again, just like I'm gonna say, the guy should be happy and be honored by the fact that the girl's letting him do that to her, right? Let alone this whole gong show.
I feel like that's a whole different discussion. But no, ultimately I agree. Like, I'm just trying to extend the conversation here because the obvious answer is like, dude, don't.
It's a red flag. It's a red flag.
It's just don't. Just like respect each other, be nice to each other ultimately. But I just hope. I would hope in this situation that we don't go with my assumption that he doesn't know, blah blah blah.
Because I don't want to give him that assumption because even if he doesn't know, it's
his fault.
Yeah, right. You can't get having sex is a 2-person thing. It's not just a 1-person thing, right? Just because he doesn't know doesn't mean he can play ignorant. You can't go to court unless a girl gets pregnant and has a kid. It's like, I didn't know I was gonna do that, right? The court's gonna be like,
whose fault is that?
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah, whose fault is that?
And I don't know. And there's probably a reason why she'd rather just have condoms instead of having the pills, right? Because there was no mention of birth control pills, right?
Right.
No mention of that.
Morning after or condoms.
I think IUDs or whatever.
Yeah.
So there's no mention of either of those two. It's just either that or this. And that's kind of the weird thing too. It's like, why just the morning after pill? And why just the condom?
That's a little bit of what tipped me off of giving him possibly the benefit of the doubt, because it seems like that kind of tipped me off that they're kind of new to the whole thing and they don't know what's all out there for contraception. Like, why are those the only things mentioned? Why is nothing else being considered?
Okay, but don't we learn about birth controls first before the morning after pill?
Well,
and use the morning after pill as an emergency?
So then even then it begs the question, why weren't there any other things considered?
Again, this is assumption. This is just my opinion.
Yeah.
My assumption is that like she's like, oh, I don't want to deal with the hormones, and if you take birth control, that's hormonal.
Okay.
Same with the IUD, that's hormonal, right? And I'm sure that he knows that the morning after pill is a hormonal drug, and I'm assuming she told him a bunch of times about that.
Yeah.
That's what's hard for me to be like, let's give him the benefit of the doubt, because she told him a bunch of times, and he brings it up a bunch of times, right? And can we just state that that's made for emergencies? Right? Like,
yeah,
it's made for emergencies. You use it in case some emergency happens. Like, let's say you were having the deed and your condom broke, then you use it as a last resort, right? So why are you creating an emergency yourself and then fixing it with that? It's like the same idea as like, yeah, we call the fire department for fire emergencies, but then you started the fire and then you call them. Like, what was like?
You have to do your best to avoid the emergency first before calling in the last resort.
Exactly, and then that's why I can't give him the benefit of the doubt.
Oh, fair enough.
That's my 2 cents. But
no, that's fair.
That's a completely big red flag. I mean, if I was the girl, and if I was it, I'd be like, you know what? No, we don't do it. We either do it my way or no way. That's what I would say, right? Because it's, as a girl, something's going inside you, right?
Right.
So you have every right to be like, no.
Yeah.
Right? And it doesn't matter if you're a boyfriend, it doesn't matter husband, all that consent thing still applies.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. If he can't do it your way, and your restrictions are stricter, then I don't know. He either needs to smarten up. Let's say if he doesn't know. I doubt that he doesn't know, but let's say if he doesn't know, he needs to smarten up, and he needs to do better. Right? Telling your girlfriend to take drugs? Like, seriously? Like, come on.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know.
Altering her body, essentially.
Yeah, it's a natural cycle that they're on, and then you're interrupting that because
you're
of your
changing.
pleasure.
Yeah.
One time.
I think ultimately whoever has more to lose should be the one who should like have veto power, you know.
And in terms of that, it's always women. It's
It would with
yeah,
sex.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, always women. It's
Yeah.
what I've always felt. Right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't think I could ever convince or like tell my girlfriend to be like, go on birth control pills or go take the morning after pill.
Because ultimately that's their body that they're dealing with. So why are we making that decision for them?
Yeah. But then, yeah, I don't know. No, there's no but then. No,
There's no but then.
Yeah, there's no but then. This guy
No more credit to be given.
Yeah, let's not give him this guy enough credit. That was the hardest one. Like I read that and I was like, that was.
Personally, I don't think it was hard. Like that's why. Okay, at the beginning, I couldn't. I tried to formulate something. I'm like, what can I do to try to see both sides of this? Because, like, I had to try to find both sides. It's like ultimately, it was like, no, don't do that. The first flag was like, no, this is wrong. You know, it's juicy, like, oh, it's gossip, but it's a very black and white thing, in my opinion.
So out of those three situations, what situation would you least like to be in yourself?
Least like to be in.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, what was the first one?
The first one was
Age,
the big age gap.
Yeah.
With 5 kids. Second one was with the boyfriend, ex-girlfriend, girlfriend, the triangle.
That one.
You don't want to be in that one?
I don't want to be in that one. First of all, who would I be in that one? The person asking the question.
Yeah, you would be the person asking the question. So you'd be the ex-boyfriend.
Yeah, no, that'd be a nightmare. Well, okay, hold on.
What age did?
I think the conversation that would be the hardest to have would be the third one. Like if I was in that person's shoes and try to talk to if I was the girl, try to talk to my boyfriend, be like, no, we can't do this. And if he keeps pushing, that creates tension, that's what makes it uncomfortable. I'm not a big confrontational guy, so I don't know. It might depend on the person, but personally, that would be the most difficult conversation to have.
I can see that. Even I was trying to think. I was like, oh, maybe I thought the second one would be harder, but the third one seemed like it would create much more conflict.
Yeah, much more tension.
Because the second one, you're already broken up. The relationship was over, right?
Yeah.
So if it creates conflict, just leave. Who gives a shit? Right. So, but then the first one, that's a difficult one too. They're all difficult.
That's the point.
Yeah, they're all
that's the point. The second one I think could create the most like emotional trauma if you find out that you're being used or whatever. Like that would mess someone up. But I'm sticking to number 3.
So if you can wrap all three up, each with one sentence each.
Each?
Yeah, each.
Okay.
So first one, how would you wrap it up with one sentence?
First one, honestly, first and second one are gonna be very, very similar, but in like obviously very different contexts. It's gonna be communication. Boil it down to what's the fundamentals of what each party's needs are, and go from there. If you're in agreement, then good for you. If not, then you know where to go.
Okay.
How about you?
First one, get to know yourself. Know what you want, right?
Yep.
Again, yeah, it's great that this person, you are really attracted to this person that's so much older than you. That's fine. But you got to know what you want in life and what you want out of life. And if that matches, great. But first, figure out yourself out. Because you're 22-year-old, there's a good chance you might not have figured that out.
Yeah.
Ask yourself that question. Second question is, again, that one, have a conversation.
Yep.
Right? Have a conversation. Talk to your ex-boyfriend. Figure out what he wants. Figure out what you want. Come to a conclusion after that. The third one is, you got to stomp your foot down. Just be like, no, this is wrong.
Yeah.
You have to have... That's mine.
Similarities between the second and third one. You just have to have some self-respect,
Yeah.
Stick to your guns and know what's to you anyway. Know what's right or wrong. Yeah.
Anything you'd like to add before we end our first episode?
First episode. That was a doozy, man. No, I think I'm good.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for listening to Penny for Our Thoughts podcast. This has been the very first episode. If you would like yourself to submit a concern, give us an email at givesometous@gmail.com. Again, it's just givesometous, exactly the way you spell it, at gmail.com. Make sure you add a username and a title, and we'll see if we can address your concern here and give our third-party opinion.
Have a good one, everybody. Thanks for listening.
Thank you very much for listening, and we'll hopefully upload one every week.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah, at the very least once a week. And we'll see you again next time.
Be kind to each other.
Thank you.